Good evening. This is the Nickie V Smith Show. How you guys doing this evening? Well, I pray that all is well. As you can see, my wonderful cousin Risa Wheat is with us tonight. But before, hey Risa, y'all say hey to my cousin.
Hey everybody.
Before we get started to the Nickie V Smith Show tonight, this is a warning. This is for mature audience only. It is violence. It includes orgies, nudity, foul language, rape. So prepare yourself for Sgt Benjamin Premiers and family. Once again, we do thank you for your time. And we have an enactment tonight. Although it does have all these issues, you have to remember Sgt Benjamin Premiers and family was written and inspired by many true events. And it may or may not be life as you know it. But we have to remember, this is a big world, 198 countries. And this is a lot of other people's lives. And it was my life. And it was others' lives. So never rule out anything. This is for my son, Carl, were the last words he heard before he died. Volette is small and quick. She moves quietly with great, steady, flowing speed. She's at the north side of the building, working her way towards the front of the building. As she starts, some people are coming out. She hesitates as she stops and backs up towards the wall. About 12 people were leaving out. They were so high, they could barely walk. One of the girls stopped. "What's that?" she said. "Ah, bitch, you just tripping. Ain't nothing over there but darkness," a male friend of hers responded. "No, man, no. No, shit, I saw something moving," she insisted. Yeah, you saw your shadow, you high bitch," one of the other people said to her. They continued and stumbled away. Volette, in the dark, throws a spike into the guard's forehead between his eyes. He falls, and the gun he was holding automatically fires several rounds, instantly warning others. The second guard on the south side of the front entrance came running over and swiftly received 2 spikes, one between his eyes and the other in his sternum.
As a result, people ran everywhere in a great panic. Many passed right by Volette, never knowing she was there. She worked her way into the house. Once on the inside, Volette observed that some people were so high they couldn't stand up. She moved from room to room, killing gang members she could identify from Juliet's information, trying not to kill any innocents. Although none of these people were exactly innocent, she didn't come for them, only the ones that had hurt Carl. And since she wasn't exactly sure who did what, she went after the head of the snake. Before she could get to the head, she had to take out as much of the snake's body as possible, which is precisely what she did.
Volette came upon a room where 4 gang members were raping a little girl that appeared to be 10 or 11 years old. At the same time, another young girl was in the corner with duct tape around her mouth, hands, and ankles. She was watching in horror and was naked. It was easy to see she had already been raped. After creating a distraction that got the men away from the girls, Volette opened fire on the men that were raping the little girl with her father's pump shotgun. She killed 2 with the shotgun before being rushed by the remaining 2, which she killed with a .38 pistol. She untied the children and hid them in the closet. She warned them to stay in the closet, and by no means were they to leave until she came back for them.
You promise you come back? One of the girls pleaded in a panic.
Yes, I promise. I'll get the bastards for what they did to both of you. But for me to do that, you have to stay here until I come back, she whispered.
One of the girls grabbed Volette's arm and whispers, please don't leave us. I'm scared.
I know you're hurt and scared, but we don't want them to come find you and hurt you again. So I need you to be very quiet. They nodded yes as she closed the closet door. When she was coming out of the room, she was grabbed from behind. Her head butted backwards, breaking her attacker's nose at the same time. Her right leg came straight up in the air, kicking him upside his head while he was still standing behind her. When he let her go, she swept his legs out from under him. As he was falling, she jumped up in the air, and just as he hit the floor seconds later, she landed with the heel of her foot smashing in his face, ending with a twist of her foot on his face, killing him instantly. She moved quickly down the hall when she felt and heard the cocking of guns. She was surrounded, but now she was facing the head of the snake.
Well. We got us a real live ninja here. So what do we owe the pleasure of this visit?
No. The pleasure is all mine. I came for you, and now I have you.
Now, so much attitude. We are holding all the guns, and they are pointing at you. If I snap my finger, I can take your head off in that very spot.
Oh, but you won't, Mr. Garbo Maker, because I promise you, I will kill you before you can snap that pitiful little old finger.
Who are you? And how do you know my name?
I looked you up. Wouldn't you like to know the nature of my interest in you and your pitiful little game?
This bitch is crazy. Bring this bitch to my office. Before they could touch her, she opened a can of whoop ass off in there. She gets free, sets off a smoke bomb, and takes off running. She grabbed the girls and they ran outside to make her getaway. She knew this was the best move to make at this time. She makes it through the tunnel with the girls in her car safely and drives off. She lives to fight another day. She takes the children to the hospital emergency room. Excuse me. Once inside, she screamed for help. When the doctor and nurses came to help the children, Volette quietly disappeared. She was still in makeup and very hard to identify. Volette returned to her apartment, showered, and went to see Carl at Mercy Hospital the same hospital where she had dropped the girls off just 2 hours earlier. After visiting and reading to him, she walked down the hall towards the emergency ward to secretly see if the girls were still there. They were. She was there only a second, long enough to see and hear what the police were asking them. Their parents were with them. It turned out that the girls were sisters. They had been missing for a week. Those monsters had those two sisters for a week, repeatedly raping them and drugging them.
Suddenly, a cold blue is being called over the intercom. When Volette turned to look, it was coming from the direction of Carl's room. She turned and ran down the hall to find it was Carl. What's happening here? Somebody please talk to me.
Ma'am, we need you out of here now. Please, please let us do our job. Step out now. Approximately 10 minutes later, the night emergency room doctor over the trauma ward came out and talked with Volette. Your son has swelling on the brain from fluid buildup. The next 24 hours will be critical. We must control the swelling and reduce it. We've already contacted Dr. Green. He has ordered us to give Carl a series of powerful medications. We give this medication to cancer patients. What we're trying to do is to reduce the effect of the trauma and turn it around. If successful, the swelling will go down and with any luck, stop altogether. This procedure has a 50% rate of success. Dr. Green is on his way. In the meantime, maybe you should call your family in tonight in case it takes a turn for the worse.
No, it won't.
It won't what?
It won't turn for the worse. Not for my Carl, Volette insisted in a high-range voice. Then finally, she gains control of herself and lowered her voice as she continues to speak with the doctor. See, doctor, I can't lose my son. I promised my husband that I would make sure our sons finish college, the both of them, she said with tears in her eyes. I told him that just before he was killed in Iraq. It was as if he knew he was going to die, just like I know my baby Carl is not going to die, not now. She wiped her eyes and went back into her son's room.
After being with Carl for a couple of hours, she stepped out into the hall and called Juliet. Hello?
Hello, Juliet, it's me.
Hey, where have you been?
Listen, I don't have long to talk. It's 8:30. I know you are tired and you just got home from work, but I need you to go and pick up Donta and bring him straight to the hospital.
Oh God, Volette, don't tell me. Don't tell me.
No. Carl isn't dead. Will you do this for me? If you hurry, you can catch Donta before he goes to the second class.
Yes, I'm on my way.
Thank you, Juliet. I'll call ahead so Donta will be ready when you arrive. It was a 2-hour drive, one way. Volette stayed by Carl's bedside for 4 hours until Donta and Juliet arrived. Donta rushed to his mother and hugged her.
What's going on, Mom? Is Carl okay?
No, he had a rough time. He has swelling on the brain, the doctor said. These next 24 hours are seriously critical.
Oh God, Mom. Oh God, please don't let him die, please. Dante pleaded with God.
It's okay, baby. And you don't have to beg God. He hears you, son, Volette assured Donta. She wiped his tears and explained how important it is to read, talk, and spell to Carl. Therefore, his subconscious mind can recognize their voices and hopefully, with faith, trigger something to his brain to wake up.
May I stay? Asked Juliet.
Yes, by all means. Volette reached her hand out to Juliet. They all took time talking, reading, and spelling to Carl. Finally, Volette had Carl moved to a private room. The orderly brought in 3 cots, one for Volette, Juliet, and Donta. The doctor came and made his final round for the evening. The shift change was taking place. After everyone had taken their time with Carl, they all got ready to bed down for the night, even though it was early morning.
Oh my God, I forgot to call my job and tell them I won't be in tonight. I'll be right back. Juliet rushed out to use the telephone and called her job to let them know she wouldn't be in tonight. When Juliet returned, she told Volette that she was good to go. All was okay with her job.
Good.
They all lay on their cots and tried to get some sleep. Volette was waiting for the perfect opportunity for her life to crisscross with Garbro Malcolm and his gang again. But for now, she planned on staying with her children and Juliet.
Volette's aggressive self-assurance was the element of surprise that would help her go against the game until it was finished. When Volette thought about Garbro Macon and his gang, the history of Alexander the Great came to her mind. It was said that Alexander the Great cried when he had no more places he could conquer. Garbro and his gang were predators. The bulk of their souls had gone over to the devil long before they attacked little Carl. Volette had taken it upon herself to help the devil collect the balance of their souls. She wasn't interested in the ritualistic formalities of the law. Her goal was to make sure these predators had no more places to conquer.
All through the night, Carl was calm. The presence of his family and their voices seemed to be working. The doctor came to visit Carl early the next morning, and to his amazement, Carl was showing signs of improvement. The swelling had gone down, his blood pressure had improved, and his breathing was normal. Volette and Donta returned to the hospital after going home long enough to shower and change their clothing. The police called Volette shortly after she and Donta left to go back to the hospital. When she didn't answer, they went by her apartment. Juliet was at home, resting before going to work that night when she got up to answer the knock on her door. "Hello, officer. How can I help you?" she asked. "Have you seen Mrs. Premiers?" "Why?" "Have you seen her or not?" the officer demanded of Juliet. "Okay, yes," she answered. "When?" the officer asked. "You just missed her. She was heading back to the hospital to check on her son. What's going on?" she asked. "We'll be in touch," the officer said as he was leaving. Juliet called Volette at the hospital. "Volette, it's me, Juliet. A police officer just left your apartment looking for you."
What do you want?
I asked, but he didn't say. Before Juliet could finish her conversation with Volette, the policemen were coming down the hall.
Let me call you back, Juliet. The police are here.
"Hello, Mrs. Premiers. I'm Officer Hopper. This is Officer James. We're here to take you down to the station."
For what?
"Chief Metcalf wants to see you."
Chief Metcalf. Since when did Metcalf become a chief?
Mom, what's happening?" asked Dante.
I'm going to the police station to visit with Chief Metcalf. You stay here, baby, with Carl, okay?
For what, Mom?
Baby, I don't know yet, but I'll be back and I need you to be here with Carl, okay?
Okay, Mama.
And that is tonight's enactment of Sergeant Benjamin Premiers and family. Tonight, we're sharing with you a sad story of a fallen hero, Sergeant Benjamin Premiers and family. He was serving his country. He saved 25 out of 30 of his platoon members, and yet, when he dies, his family had to move off the base, and they moved into the inner city of Chicago, where this awful, awful event took place. I'm going to ask you, and I'm going to ask you, Reese, and I want to make a statement before that. If this was your child, regardless of him being special needs or not, and some vicious animal committed this type of a sin, this type of a crime to your child, tell me something. What would be too much? What would be too little? Where would you start? Where would you stop? Or would you stop? That's a hell of a question to ask. And that's a hell of a position to be put in. What you think, Risa?
I think it's horrible. And I think with enough resources, I don't know whether I should say on air the things that come to mind.
Okay, fair enough.
But I can't imagine a horrible gang like this raping these two little girls and raping Carl. I don't know. I don't know, Nicki.
Well, that's fair and that's honest and that's smart to not say certain things on the air because you don't know what you would do. But that's unfortunate that we even have to address rape, that we even have to address people abusing other people like that. It's unfortunate that children are being trafficked and mistreated like they are nothing. Not let alone grown people, but children as a form. Now, for whatever reason, but these scumbags attacked Carl as an initiation to the game. And like I said before, regardless of whether your child was special needs or not, this would be wow. This is a wow factor here. You got to really, and you said it, resources would make a big difference in the strategy.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, the strategy
Yeah.
would be a whole different ball game.
Oh, yes.
But also people that are military trained or people that, some people you don't take for granted would have a strategy as well. And I think that's all I'm safe to say too. You know, we have 198 countries in the world and rape takes place all over the world. That's a shame. But we have to keep moving forward. And that is why, since this best-selling book, Self-Healing for Sexual Abuse Survivors, who are tired of just surviving and Time to Thrive, the #1 bestseller by Nickie V. Smith, came out. That's why it came out. It's 200% true. But since that has come out, we have Sgt Benjamin Premiers that ties into that same crime of sexual abuse survivors. Also, from that one book, we have started an advocacy, Risa and I. It's called Self-Healing for Sexual Abuse Survivors. We're proud to say that. We also have the show got started from that also, that one book based on truth. So, Risa, you're holding up the books. Let me let you talk for a minute, please.
Well, if you want to know what happens with Sgt Benjamin Premiers, y'all don't have to buy the book, okay? Don't you want to know what happened to little Carl? Don't you want to know what Volette's conversation was with Chief Metcalf? Don't you want to know the rest of the story? Go to Amazon.com and order your copy. You can also order Self-Healing for Sexual Abuse Survivors on Amazon.com. Or if you want autographed copies, you can go to Books by N.V. Smith at yahoo.com. That's N as in Nancy, V as in Victor. Books by N.V. Smith at yahoo.com. You can also call, and the number is 323-351-9770. Again, that's 323-351-9770. And you can order your copies. Don't y'all want to find out what happened? Get your copy, because we're not going to tell you. Okay? So that's it.
Thank you, Reese. That's it. If you want to know, that's it.
Get the book.
Get the book. You know, because like I said, things don't always come out the way you expect life to come out. And if it never happened to you, well, God bless you, and I'm so happy for you. But it happened to me. Lasted over 5 years. It was awful. And it happens to others. More and more people are coming out since this book has been written. And people are asking again for the autobiography. I will let you know if and when I decide to write that, so that you can follow the story. But in the meantime, remember to continue to live strong with courage, confidence, and faith, because that is what you're going to need to move forward. Life is not a bundle of joy. We wish it was. We wish it was fun, loving, happy. And sometimes it's just not. But you have the power inside of you to empower yourself. You don't have to live mad all the time. You don't have to live dissatisfied with what all has happened. You don't even have to live with an anger towards anybody, like anybody. You make a decision how you choose to live your life. You make a decision how you want to go forward. That's empowering yourself. And Risa, I think in order to empower oneself, when they read the book, they'll find the different tools that I used. And in the self-healing book, and having read the book yourself, can you tell me what you think the tools that I suggested so far, how they resonate with you? Do you feel they're beneficial with others?
I think so. I think you gotta take your life back.
Yes.
And I think you gotta try to reclaim your power as best you can. And Nicky's tools are to help you get through another tomorrow,
Yes.
just to help you brighten your day, and just try to live a strong life, and don't let this ugliness that has happened just consume your life. And Nicky's tools are going to help you do that. And she's available for one-on-one counseling also.
Mhm.
You just have to call her or send her an email and let her know. And she's there to help.
That's right.
That's what this is all about. She's healing, and she wants to help you to heal. She wants everybody to heal. So
Yes.
that's what we're doing this for, everybody. So
Mhm.
all the money goes into the advocacy.
Yes.
So
Yes.
if you want to donate, um, any amount is helpful.
Mhm.
And again, you would contact Books by Nickie V. Smith at yahoo.com, or you can call 323-351-9770. This is to
Okay.
help. This is to help everybody. And this is not just women.
No.
It's women, it's children, it's men,
Mhm.
whoever.
Mhm.
If you need Nicky's help, she's available to help you.
Mhm.
Thank you.
Thank you. Thank you, Risa. I hate to correct you, but I need to correct you
Okay.
because you said books by Nickie V. Smith.
I'm sorry.
That's okay. That's okay. It's books by
NV Smith at
Yes,
yahoo.com. That's right. I'm sorry.
that's all right. No problem. No problem. No apologies necessary. You did great. I love the way you do. And Nikki's not the only one helping here. Risa's part of the team. She's a very important part of the team. Risa keeps me in check, baby. She keeps me in check. She keeps the background in check. We're growing. We're getting to the point where we're gonna be hiring soon some more people for the background once the advocacy really takes off and the government okays everything. All the paperwork has been turned in, and it has been turned in. We're just on their merciful time, and we just have to wait. And I keep saying that that's because I'm anxious and I'm ready for it to take off. But in the meantime, Lisa is a powerful woman that takes care of us all. But the one thing the advocate is really growing in is people donating. They'll donate and come on the show and talk about their services. There is no fee to come on the show. However, we do ask for a donation to come on the show, and you have the opportunity to talk about your business, your books, your everything. That's helping us buy educational material. That's helping bring other parts of this advocacy to life. And again, like Risa said, all of the money, I keep none of it. Every single bit that we have collected right now has gone towards the legalities of the advocacy. And now we're just waiting on the government to make their move. So, and that's also tax deductible. Please know that. So as a guest on the show, we ask for a donation. Nothing's too large, nothing's too small. And we thank you for that. You'll get that information once you make contact with us. And please, if you call in and you don't get anyone, please don't just hang up. Hanging up is not, it's wasting of your time. Leave contact information and we'll get back with you as soon as possible. And we do thank you for following the show and for your comments. We love them. We love them. And let me tell you something else that I want you guys to understand that I have seen happening, not only with survivors, but sometimes you gotta be careful not to be too judgmental on the opposite sex. You know, you can't be anti-man because you were raped by men. You can't be anti-women because a woman did something to you, because your life with that person didn't go well, or that person and you got divorced, or life was abusive there. You can't be anti anything except anti-abusive, because that's keeping yourself. That's keeping yourself from growth. And sometimes in our conversations, we have to be careful what we say, including myself, because it can make you sound like you're anti-man when you are talking and things are going negative and you're saying, well, he did this, he did that, she did this, she did that. No, even myself, I have to put me in check. I have to put me in check because I have to stand back, stand down, and re-examine what I'm saying. Because I'm going to tell you something, this is not an easy journey. It's every day. It's every single day. And you don't want to be judgmental, and you don't want to be separatist, separating yourself from others. You want to learn what's going on. You want to make a rational decision as to how you want to move forward. And you don't do that by pointing the finger at others. You do that by pointing the finger at that mirror at you and starting with you. Michael Jackson used to say, the man in the mirror. So let's start with the man in the mirror first, the man and the woman in the mirror. Okay? I felt, Lisa, that was important to say because I catch myself sometimes doing that, and I don't mean to, you know. Sometimes I say things and it sounds like I'm anti-man. I'm not anti-nothing. I love you. But that's another story for another day. I have to love them. But I did find myself being sometimes harder on men because I was raped by a man, you know, man that I was supposed to respect, my father. So I have to, I needed to say that tonight because it's real important that we're not anti-judgmental until we know the whole story. Well, guys, Reese, you have anything else to say?
No, but you know what? I would like to know if you guys enjoyed our reading tonight. Let us know with your comments. When Nickie posts it up, give us some feedback. We'd like to know if you enjoyed it. Okay? We did.
Yes. Yes.
So,
even though it was graphic content.
it was.
Yeah, it's horrible, but we definitely enjoyed reading it and sharing it with you guys and entertaining you guys with it. Again, if you are wanting to make a donation, that's books by nvsmith@yahoo.com, 323-351-9770. I'm Nickie V. Smith, and this is the Nickie V. Smith Show. And this is my wonderful partner, Risa Wheat. And we say, live strong with courage, confidence, and faith. And for that, we're going to say good night. Good night.
Good night. Bye, everybody.